now we inject that fear. Now it becomes desperation. And it's no coincidence that after this fire, after this shooting, this massacre, Mr. Ray Rosen, a man with 41 years experience, a man that testified up here, laid everything on the line and said, I heard him. I heard him talking about it. Tell him, we need to get out of here. And his friend, Bobby Delgado, was saying, don't worry, I'll take care of it. He said, I can get you the money for that new warehouse. And he says, well, think about it. Well, apparently he did think about it. A week later, the plant broke down. I want to talk about Bobby Delgado. Man, we know whose credibility cannot be trusted. Man who was convicted of arson for burning down a building to get the insurance money. Now, the night of the fire happens. And we have a happy coincidence. The trucks, they've been moved. On that particular day, just the night before the fire, the trucks have been moved. Coincidence. They want you to believe. Fire happens. They get there. And what do we hear? We hear again Mr. Rosen listening to the conversation. He says, Mr. Rubino to Mr. Delgado, you've been good to me, real good to me, and I'm going to take care of you for the rest of your life. Acid plants burned down. Now, something else happened. That day, the same day, the plant, his father essentially lived his life and burned down to the ground. He tried to go file his claim with the insurance company. That's not the actions of a man who's surprised. He just lost everything. And then the check clears February 1st, exactly 1 month before he needed to get the money for the option. It's another happy coincidence. Another coincidence. Mr. Delgado, he's promoted now. And by the way, he shows up with a brand new Cadillac right after Mr. Rubino gets the money. Now, the last thing I want you to focus on is remember your weighing. Is it 50.01% more likely? Which store is more likely? Look at the theory of the fire. Mr. Rubino wants you to believe that it's the product of spontaneous combustion, something that is extremely rare. He says it started in the storage room, but we know he said it needs to be hot, it needs to be enclosed. And then he proceeded to tell you, well, it wasn't enclosed. And there's no evidence that it was hot. He then tells you that, well, it jumped 65 feet here because it was open and because it was hot. But we have an eyewitness who said he saw a fire in this room before the explosion on this side, indicating that this fire must have happened first. What's important about that? Because you have Mr. Pugh, man, a lot of experience, come up and testify, make it very clear. It's the basic opinion of all fire investigation that separate fires indicate arson. And he said there was a fire in the opposite corner. Here, first. And then he saw the explosion. Which is important because of this, as soon as these light on fire, this blows up. Now, Mr. Ruggiero said it would have been easy to set a fire here. It would have been easy to set a fire here. In fact, you could set a fire here if you were brave enough. If you were desperate enough. Ladies and gentlemen, it's clear what you need to do today. You need to go back into the room and deliberate. Look at all the evidences presented. All of it. Look at the circumstances, the coincidences. In the theory of the fire. See which one is more likely. What is more likely to occur? I'm confident after you do that, you will come back. You will give the only verdict that is supported by the facts of this case. That the fire was no accident. That it was, in fact, a manufacturing miracle. A miracle manufactured by the defendant, Mr. Tony Rubino Jr. We request that you